Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Moen After Dark here on the College Football Mafia Network. I am your host, Moen, of course, joined by my co host, the CFB Express concierge. Anything you need, this guy can get you. Rock and Rant. How are you doing tonight, Rock?
I am doing good. It's a little bit LA cold, but it's certainly not a blizzard back in my original hometown where my family is back east on Long Island in the New York City area. So I don't know, did that run through you guys or are you just south of it?
We're getting some snow here, but we're not getting nearly what they're getting. So we got hit with our 18 inches of snowfall earlier this season.
Yeah, I mean I can see snow in the mountains. We've gotten so much rain that I can see them from the beach.
Yeah, but
But yes, LA
I,
cold, hence a hat.
yeah, I will take the cold weather because without cold, it's mud and shit. So I'd rather have frozen ground to walk on and easily spot Charlie bombs than
I I will say I miss the crunch of this certain type of ground when the right combination happens and you try to like not crush the ground under your feet. I used to do that as a kid, but anyway, I digress. Another crazy week in the off season. Did you get your
absolutely.
eligibility back, Moen?
No, I couldn't get my 32nd year of eligibility, so I'm going to sue. It's like every good American.
It sounds like a
Um,
plan.
we are going to be talking tonight a little bit about vulture culture, what I perceive as the vulture culture that's taken over college football. But we will get to your questions and comments and queries and all that stuff. But let's say hello to some people first. Buckshot Kids here. He says, "Oh hey, Moen and Rock. Good to see you, Buckshot
What's
Kid."
going on, man?
Outlaw Skies says he's tubed. I think that's supposed to be second, or he's
It might
offering
be
a two
secret.
bedroom,
Could be secret code.
two BD. Caden the Diesel Freak series says, "Go Buckeyes." Good to see you, Caden. Thanks for stopping by. Ryan Willie is here, the evil badger. He says, "Hi, CFM. Good to see you, Ryan." We'll get to your super chats in a second as soon as we roll in with everybody else here. Bob Swanger's in the house. He says, "Hey,
What's up,
everyone.
Bob?
Good to see you, Bob." The other Gygax is here. If you didn't catch Friday's show, Dan filled in for Nate. I think it was quite the show. It was a good, big freaking Friday. So
I
definitely
should have
check
joined
that
that
out.
show. I actually want to know what the original Gygax is because I've never asked Daniel since
He's the
he's the
other
other
Gygax.
one. Hmm.
Jan Hulk says, "Hey,
Hello,
all the way
Jan.
from Slovenia." Outlaw Skies now corrects it to 32nd.
That means you still make
Okay.
the Big Ten playoffs, though.
Skaven, yes, says they can keep the snow in the Northeast. Hello, gentlemen. USA, USA, USA. Yes. Hockey this morning was fantastic. Um, not really an explosive game or anything like that, but just get to overtime was all I was saying in the third period, and they got to overtime and they were able to drive down and get a score. Did you catch any of that game, or was it a little too early for you in LA time?
No, I caught it. I mean, I was fortunate in my life to have been young and at the '80 Olympics, so I've always been interested in it, and I love hockey. Probably should watch it more. It's actually one of the best sports when you get to the playoffs. And everyone realizes that during the Olympics and the playoffs, right? But the hardcore fans know it all the time. I loved it. It was kind of like a defensive battle game, but really, I mean, Canada had so many chances. The goalie was literally standing on his head before he goes back to his team in Winnipeg and has to show off his gold medal to his local fans.
Evil Badger with the $5 super chat. I'll admit that I don't like Culver's Butterburgers. I think Greg won't admit it, but I think Greg actually likes Culver's cheeseburgers. Have you ever had a Culver's Butterburger?
I've never had a Culver's burger. I can't even comment.
It's more of a Midwest chain, based out of Wisconsin. There's no butter on the burger. The butter's on the bun.
Yeah. I mean, I've had burgers that are very butter heavy, so I understand like the theoretical part of it on the bun side, but
I used to work right down the road from a Culver's, so I would go there for lunch at least twice a week and get a bacon deluxe triple with crinkle fries. Took years off my life, but they were so damn. They were worth it. But let's see. Do we got a cheeseburger sounder here? Where is the cheeseburger?
You want a cheeseburger? Come on, everybody got a cheeseburger. One cheeseburger? Come on, cheeseburger. I don't want a cheeseburger. It's too early for a cheeseburger. Too early for a cheeseburger? Look. Cheeseburger.
Thank you for the super chat, Ryan. I don't know if you've ever done this. You can also get the cheese sauce and use it for dipping the crinkle cut fries or your burger. Not the cheese curds, the cheese sauce. It's delicious. It is just literally, it clogs your arteries as you're ingesting it. Another super chat. The Wisconsin legislator passed 14.6 mil per year for the University of Wisconsin Athletic Department debt maintenance, aka NIL. Not shocked. I think a lot of schools, state schools especially, will be doing that. Obviously, Miami can't do that, but FSU and UF would probably both partake in that if it came down to it.
they certainly can, which is why I'm glad that Miami has both some billionaires and a medical system that's just throwing off cash.
Thank you for another super chat, Ryan. I appreciate that. Let's see. You're my best friend.
He's my best friend. He's my pal. He's my homeboy, my rotten soldier.
Thank you for that super chat, sir. Yeah. Hey, listen, if it even came to that in Ohio, in the state of Ohio, if a legislator didn't vote for that, that legislator would likely get ousted. Ohio State is that serious of an issue here for voters.
Yes, that legislator would be called for targeting and be permanently thrown out of the next game.
Daniel clarifies his username. My brother used the Gygax as his name for everything, so I just did the other Gygax just to mock him. Note he is no longer on social media. I always figured it was
of social media.
I figured it was a play on the other guy. But
I honestly thought that maybe it was some random Dr. Seuss character, that I had never heard of from like a book that didn't get a good cartoon show because of the Lorax. So I had no idea.
Pit Snipe Husker. Culver's Butterburgers are pretty good. If you're in the neighborhood of a Culver's, it's totally worth a stop a few times a year. Yes, a few times a year would be the best way to put it. It is extremely fattening. They love their cheese up there in Wisconsin. Like I said, you can get cheese, bacon, you can get the works put on there, but that cheese sauce is a dipper. Whew, that's a madman. Matt's 2026 double burger from Culver's today, fries and custard. There you go. That's probably 3 years of your arteries lifespan right there. Matt, I hate to bring it to you, but but I'll tell you what,
the elliptical trainer tomorrow.
I will tell you what, if you're ever blocked up, man, Culver's will get you moving. There was a Culver's near my lawyer's office, so it was a relief to eat there after a meeting. Eat the pain. There you go. Eat through the pain. So tonight's topic is going to be vulture culture, which I didn't coin the phrase. There used to be a stadium here, or arena, that had a little indie rock scene that called themselves the Culture Vultures. But yeah, I think it's vulture culture. It's a little strike that, reverse it here in college football. And let me start off and explain it. And came up with an algorithm because I love algorithms. I love formulas to describe who's got the most Vulture Culture so far this year. It starts off with the 105 man culling. No walk-on is safe. The reality check were officially moved from the 120 plus rosters to a hard 105 cap. This isn't just a scholarship limit, it's an actual body limit. Big Ten and SEC Blue Bloods are systematically cutting loyal 3-year walk-ons this month to clear space for late cycle portal additions. Are Ryan Day or Dan Lanning a vulture for telling a local kid to pack his bags to make room for a 4-star depth piece from the portal? We're seeing the death of the Midwest developmental model in real time. And I don't think it's just a Midwest developmental model. This Southern developmental model, West Coast developmental model, I think all of them are suffering from this cap. Now we have this 105 cap. A lot of kids who walked on, they've got to walk off because, you've got to add depth in the portal.
Well, and listen, it's a combination, right, of just the reality. I mean, not every school was having rosters with 140 players, including 55 walk-ons, right? There's still a cost to all of that. So not everybody was as deep with walk-ons, whether they were super talented, culture, potentially going to move on. But then you also add the flip of, if you're really competing in college football, you have to plan that maybe you're going to need players who can get you to 16 game schedule, right? And you don't have the ability of a practice squad. You don't have the ability to assign people off of a waiver wire. So you got to not only stockpile talent for the future in a world where some of the young guys don't want to wait, but you do need the depth, even if your depth quality might not be as deep with 4 or 5 stars for the big guys. Because if you have aspirations in making the playoff, it's not a 11 game season anymore. It's not a 12 with a 13th, 14th. You could be going, old school full NFL. So now I think there's a risk there of, is your 105th former 3-star or 4-star player really worth some culture guys there who would do anything for the logo versus our mercenaries? I think that's the thing that people have to figure out over the long run.
I agree, but I think with what Indiana pulled off this season and last season, I think we're going to see a lot more people going after veteran experience on the field over maybe character quality guys.
Sure, but if everybody's doing the Indiana approach, even, yes, you've moved from an 85-man roster to a 105 eventually, and not so far down. There, just because people play doesn't mean it's quality depth, right? There's a diminishing returns at some point if the top 40 teams are all trying to basically go that far deep. Not everyone is going to be able to really be a valuable piece at your 105th spot.
Absolutely. Want to mention special shout out to the Apex Vulture, Lane Kiffin and his Baton Rouge raid. Kiffin didn't just rebuild LSU, he picked the bones of the Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC. Highlighting the signing of Sam Levitt, Jordan Seaton, Prince Will Umamamalan. Kiffin is effectively using LSU's massive NIL war chest to harvest the best proven talent in the country.
But Moen, the governor said that they weren't going to use all of this money.
Well, the governor apparently lied because Kiffin reportedly chased Sam Levitt through the airport to seal the deal. Is that competitive spirit, or has the portal turned head coaches into desperate bounty hunters?
I think that's what happens when you have a lot of good hot yoga sessions to keep you trim and nimble.
Joey Freshwater is definitely keeping keeping up with the Kardashians, to say the least. Let me get on my next point here. Let's talk about a new age predator. Texas Tech. Joey McGuire is proving you don't have to be a blue blood to be a Vulture. Tech just landed the number 9 portal class in the country, including 17 plus transfers like Brendan Sorsby and Mateen Ibriagaba. The pivot, Tech lost out on Cam Coleman, who was the big receiver, number 1 receiver in the portal from Auburn, to Texas. So they immediately went and vultured Malcolm Simmons from Auburn and Kenny Johnson from Pitt. Is Texas Tech the blueprint for how middle-class programs survive? If you can't out-recruit Georgia for 5 stars, you raid the starters of everyone else.
Well, right now, Texas Tech maybe can't out-recruit for 5 stars, right? Because in some way, they only officially started to become taking advantage or investing into the program in the last few years. But that could change with a few more playoff appearances, right? Eventually, you might not have to pay as much of a suck tax, a Lubbock tax, whatever one you want to do, as the program continues to win. That plus the money they have, they will get more competitive on the recruiting trail. But in the meantime, Joey McGuire is taking a page out of Jerry Maguire, and he's showing everybody the money.
Absolutely. Great point. Point number 4, I want to bring up the AAU gatekeeping Vulture strategy. The Big Ten is hovering over the ACC like a buzzard would, waiting for the legal kill shot. They are targeting Miami because of their AAU status, effectively leaving Florida State to rot in a dying conference. Now, Florida State is working to get up to AAU status. Relax, Florida State fans. This is not the kill shot this episode. There's definitely an FSU kill shot this episode, but that's not it.
God, okay.
Well, I want to be honest with our Florida State fans, because let's take a look at the Vulture Culture list. And this is what I came up with, the top 20 Vulture Culture schools out there. Number 1, by far, it is the LSU Tigers. They have went and picked the bones of every program possible in this portal season. These rankings account for the talent churn, who took the most, who took the best, and who left other programs in the dust. So yes, we're also looking at who took the best available. Ole Miss is second.
There's definitely a few teams in the top 10 that actually don't have quantity. This particular year, Notre Dame and Miami are not top 15 teams in terms of acquisition. I know Ohio State just on the portal had probably double what Notre Dame did, but that's also because of graduation attrition and people going to the pros. LSU certainly, Penn State certainly, Oklahoma State absolutely had tons of numbers plus some gems for sure.
And some of these are new coaches coming in and literally rating their old teams and saying to their old team, hey, come over here. We need you. We could use you here. But Texas hits at number 3. Obviously, the Cam Coleman acquisition, huge acquisition for them. Miami comes in at number 4. Not bad. Ohio State's at number 5. Penn State's at number 6. Oklahoma State's at number 7. Indiana's at number 8. Notre Dame's at 9. Texas Tech Red Raiders hit at number 10. Then you've got Kentucky, Texas A&M, Auburn, Cal, rated a lot of Oregon kids. Arizona State, Michigan rated a lot of Utah kids. Alabama, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma. These are your top 20 Vulture Culture Power Rankings per Moen. Again, we accounted for the talent churn, who took the most, who took the best, and who left other programs in the dust. Now, here's a kill shot at Florida State. Do you know who the worst on the Vulture Culture list was?
Well, I know that Florida State, because I'm just taking the witnesses leading me there. I know that when it comes to something like the 24/7 and on three, where they assign points like 5 stars and 4 stars, what have it, for the transfer portal, that quantity of players in and out aside, the gap between talent that left versus came in, Florida State had a pretty good delta there between what services rated their transfer portal class in terms of, hey, you lost on average of 72 and you brought on average of 66.
It is. You're right. You called it a delta. It is a delta the size of the Grand Canyon. Florida State literally got picked apart when it came to the transfer portal, and they just could not restock with the caliber or quality or depth. They're really going to struggle on depth this season from these teams. So Mike Norvell, I know a lot of people were like, well, why didn't you fire Mike Norvell? I think they realize Mike Norvell is already fired. Barring a miracle. And hey, maybe he can motivate these guys that he has. I don't know. Barring a miracle, I mean, they just literally they got picked apart.
Yeah, listen, I feel for Florida State fans, and I'm not being a troll or anything like that. They can't win either way. You have people, I want to say they're a Locked On FSU guy who also does recruiting for Locked On generally, and then one of their writers, guys on the Cover 3 podcast, both have said, I believe, that they believe that Mike Norvell is coming back not just for 1 year, but for 2 years, barring something crazy, which I don't know what that would be. As another 2-10 season, crazy enough to change that. But if that's true, that's rough. You've seen them lose a coach right now who's only there for a few weeks because they got a more safe opportunity, right? And I think you're seeing them have to pay the tax. And they got hijacked by like the Desir twins, went into the portal. They did come back ultimately, and Florida State was able to turn that around. But they had some of those challenging situations. So I think everyone knows there's a dead man walking. The question is he walking for 1 year or 2?
Yeah, it'd be hard to see him be able to actually win this season and keep his job.
I think he can't. And no, Moen, I mean, there's not a lot of them out there, but over for CFB Express, we already did our ACC way, way too early stuff. And we tried to, we took our shots, our picks. But one of the things we did is I went out and found there was like 3 or 4 reputable, meaning media sites, CBS Sports, those kind of places that had done them. And I did a consensus. And the thing that was interesting, they're way too early. Had Florida State, 7-ish, maybe 8. And I literally have no idea how that's going to happen. They got a really bad schedule relatively for the ACC, meaning they're seeing the on paper top half. I don't know how they're doing it, and I don't know why those other media sites were seeing a possibility of a good season for them, even top half of the ACC. I personally don't see it. I don't think they got the quarterback. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to too. Is just you're gonna have to prove it to me with their quarterback acquisition who couldn't break through in a messy quarterback situation at Auburn this past year.
Yeah. Definitely. And then you've got corporate jersey patches that's going to be funding the feeders. LSU's deal with Woodside Energy is just the start. Every patch you see on a jersey this fall is essentially paying for a specific portal hit. If Michigan puts a Ford patch on the jersey and uses that money to flip an Ohio State starter, does the rivalry survive, or does it just become a corporate merger at that point?
The patches, I'm waiting for one school to say, no, you don't actually get to put the patch on all of our jerseys. You have to pay per player based on what the player's value is on top of our brand value as the team. You want to be seen on Julian saying?
There you go. Safe Flight Auto would put that patch on Julian saying. How much would Jeremiah Smith? I mean, Jeremiah Smith would have to get But I mean, they're already a Nike jersey, so I mean, you've already got a Nike patch on it. And that's another thing. You're going to have conflicts. What if somebody wants to put an Adidas patch on a Nike school's uniforms?
That they'll definitely have the carve outs. They're going to have category stuff that they have no choice to do. But it won't mean that, maybe you get to see the All-State guy on your logo.
I wouldn't mind if my Huskers appeared on that list somewhere. Listen, I'm not making any judgments. I'm not saying these people are evil. These people are wrong. I'm just saying it is vulture culture. This is literally what vultures do. They show up, they pick the bones, they leave the bones. So being on this list isn't necessarily a bad thing. Hell, Indiana won a national championship, and I think if we probably looked back at last year's Vulture Culture Power Rankings, I didn't actually get to do those. Indiana would probably be in the top 3.
They did a great job in the portal. They did a great job this year as well. Pit Snipe Husker, I would love to see you guys on here. If I were doing a list of the top 5 fan bases that I think deserve better, and yours would be there. I wish that I felt that that was going to change under Matt Rule. I don't understand why he was extended. But you guys, that program deserves a lot better.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see. You don't see as many blue blood programs on here as you would think. You've got, we'll call Miami a blue blood program, 5 national championships in the last 40 years. We'll call Ohio State a blue blood for sure. Penn State, Notre Dame, Michigan, Alabama, Oklahoma. You would think LSU. It would be populated by a lot more blue blood. Yeah, okay, we'll call LSU a blue blood. We'll call LSU a blue blood for the sake of this argument. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see some blue bloods are adapting, but I was shocked when it spit out the numbers that there weren't more blue bloods. I was shocked that Michigan was only at 16.
Michigan didn't do as many. I don't have it committed to memory, and they definitely brought some Utah guys over, but they did nothing along the lines of what Penn State did to Iowa State or what Virginia Tech did to Penn State on some level. It was a handful of players that came with Kyle. Now, that also reflects that he was taking over a team that finished, 18th, 16th, something like that in the final rankings. So it wasn't like a wholesale reboot where most of these other coaches that are taking over a new team are usually taking over a losing program. So maybe it makes sense, but they definitely got some quality, and they certainly got one player at the end of it of note that basically was, enrolled for a week as a freshman coming in early and changed over that fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate it when it does this. Mad 2-person. There we go. So that's the vulture culture I think we're looking at in college football. How do you think that works out long term?
Well, I mean, you're doing it in an interesting way, right? Like, if I'll just speak to Miami only because I know it the best, right? The numbers are way down as Mario has been able to build up from a recruiting perspective. But when they've gone in, and probably why they're still in the rankings, it's not so much quantity. It's haven't lost as much, right? They only lost like maybe 3 or 4 players that did over 100 plays. So the retention was good. But when they went in, and whatever everyone's opinion might be about Darian Menson, I understand the various opinions that could be there. A lot of the players they got are going to contribute and were regarded very highly, whether it's wide receivers from South Carolina, West Virginia, a likely first-round defensive lineman coming in from Missouri. But the quantity isn't there. Notre Dame's class is ridiculous in the portal, but it's like 9 or 10 players at most, if I'm not mistaken. But everyone they got are, on paper studs, have proven experience. So they're not necessarily, they're just being smart in free agency, for lack of a better way. Other teams have to take more. Indiana didn't take as many as they did the previous 2 years, but because they are now the freaking national champions, right? They're shopping at a better store.
You're right. You're right. They've got much higher level in the talent composite ratings than they were the previous years. John Dry says, "Hey y'all, good to see you, John." Go Black 45 saying we're number one. We're number one. He has no problem being the top of the Vulture Culture list.
I wouldn't either, especially after you had to go through Brian Kelly.
Mick Stevens says, "Go Frogs." TCU was not on the list. Daniel says, "Florida State doesn't have the cash to fire Norvell." Georgia Tech. Yeah, Piston Husker. I brought this one up. Wouldn't mind if my Huskers appeared on there somewhere. Go Black 45 says B. I don't know what that means. They're looking for big money for helmet stickers potentially. Listen, I mean, there's a fine line between legacy and capitalism at this point. I don't want to see the Buckeye stickers replaced with corporate stickers.
But
I think
think of
that's
how many
terrible.
sticker sponsors you could get. First sticker goes to, on every helmet goes to whatever, Culver's. Second, the guys who get the 27 of them, you can have like the 27th sponsor. It's even more prestigious because it's only on Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Then you're gonna have a bidding market on helmet stickers. Like, who wants the next helmet sticker on Jeremiah Smith? It's Culver's. Okay, it's $1 million for the helmet sticker.
Right. But it'll be a big ass sticker for $1 million.
But it'll be a big, huge sticker that says Culver's, which makes. I mean, come on, I'm not against making money. I'm not against that at all, but some traditions have to stay traditions. Go Black 45 says the Ohio State helmet Buckeye, sponsored by Nationwide Insurance. One thing we have a lot of it in Ohio is insurance companies: Progressive, Nationwide, Allstate. We've got all kinds of insurance companies here. So the field is sponsored by Safelight, by the way. And if you don't know who Safelight is, I'm not going to sing the jingle. LSU, OSU, PSU have the big advantage of being the big dogs with no real competition. People want to go there just for the school first, not the coach. That's recruits. But I think Vulture Culture, we're in a new era. These guys in the portal, they're mercs. They're mercenaries, Go Black 45. They want to go wherever the money's the highest and wherever the winning is the easiest.
Or where the development might be too, right? To improve their lot in the NFL draft, or to make sure that they get drafted, for sure. But yeah, on the high school ranks, if you go back and you look at the last couple of years of recruiting, the high school trend is still kind of the same with the teams that are doing a good job recruiting. It's Indiana is still taking a second for that brand to permeate down. I think their recruiting class was in the 30s this year. Of course, that closed before the national championship run, as opposed to in the 50s and 60s in the previous years. But it takes a second because the recruiting side, even though there's money for sure in there, there is a little bit of a lag. But once they get there and they decide and they're moving on somewhere else, money's certainly a thing. Playing time if you're going to a different school, maybe because you're buried behind a roster, but also like what coach or coaching staff can make sure that you're getting as much NFL ready if the money, all things is equal.
Absolutely. Earl Carr says USA, 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 we win. How about our guys completing the sweep in hockey mowing? Absolutely. Let me see if I've got a real American song here. I don't think I do, but
And what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
that's as close as I've got to a patriotic thing on here, I think. I probably ought to put some more stuff on here. But yeah, absolutely. I was watching it this morning. I had a parlay on it. My parlay didn't hit, but I was still happy. I was still ecstatic. So congratulations to Team USA. First time in 46 years winning the gold medal in hockey. The first time since the last time they won a gold medal, I wasn't even born yet, guys. Wasn't even born yet. So this is my first gold medal in hockey that I've seen in my lifetime. And busted teeth and all. And I'll never understand how those guys can get their teeth busted and then just conduct an interview afterwards. Yeah. Mo and the Ohio State receivers get their stickers sponsored by Allstate. They are in good hands. Sure. I get it. I get it. I was gonna say I don't know what the major industries are in Michigan anymore because it doesn't seem like you guys produce cars. Still matters. First portal is to patch holes here and there. I agree. But still patching holes, you're cutting loose walk-ons. Pit Snipe Husker says I need safe light. Exploded the rear sliding glass in my nephew's 93 Dakota last week trying to break in when the driver's door handle broke and the passenger side was locked. Arg, bad day. Well, you should know this. Safe light repair, safe light replace. Safe light will come out to you, but in the future, I don't know enough about 93 Dakotas, but usually a coat hanger would resolve that situation.
I don't know why, Moen, but the safe light jingle somehow for some reason makes me think of the original Total Recall commercial for Recall.
Recall. Oh yeah, recall. You got no Sergeant Slaughter sound bites. I don't have any Sergeant Slaughter sound bites. I'm sorry. I apologize. Manic Reaction says 11-4 odds. Okay. I'm not sure what the 11-4 odds are on, but you forget, Mo, and I'm from Ohio. You're from Akron. But Michigan be sponsored by Ford for the running backs. Built Ford tough. No.
I got your sponsorship going, Moen, for Culver's. You're all set.
I see your little image you generated. Fun fact, Darren Peterson's application for USA Hockey was returned unopened. Okay, so we now 11-4-17, Iowa 55, Ohio State 24. Yes, nighttime in Kinnick. I hate it. We kind of discussed this a little on Friday or the Friday before. Ohio State, night games on the road, they struggle. They struggle, and thoughts and prayers out to the family of Rondale Moore. Way
Right.
too young. That was another
What
one.
an
That
iconic play.
Yeah, that game against Ohio State when Ohio State was number one. I think he scored 28 points in the fourth quarter, and they weren't even 28 points they needed. But yeah, Ohio State struggles at night on the road. And Iowa has one of the best traditions, the Wave. I'm a big believer in collective positive vibes, and I think that puts collective positive vibes into Kinnick, and I think that makes a difference. Though only for the first 1,000 miles. Well, if you got a running back that's running 1,000 miles, though, I think you'd be good, Amazing Blue. I think you'd be good. I own a dozen Slim Jims, but had none with me. I was trying to pop the latch with my USAA credit card. USAA. Sergeant Slaughter turned heel, and that shit will not be forgotten. There you go. He turned heel during the Gulf War, the first Gulf War. We're on to the fourth Gulf War, I think, at this point.
Right, in any hour.
Any hour now. But, you know.
But
All right,
peace.
show your Culver sticker for the Buckeyes.
I'm just was inspiring you because maybe you can make some more money. That's all.
You know, that's not that bad. At least there's a Buckeye leaf. At least there's a Buckeye leaf on there, but that helmet sticker is way too big.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to multitask the show and give it the right prompt, but you just think of it, make it more like a 50-cent piece,
Yeah, I mean, it could be a lot worse than that. I mean, as
It
long
could
as
be.
they keep the leaves on there and maybe keep the color scheme the same, I might
Right.
allow that. I might allow that.
It could work. It could work. If it brought you a national championship because you got an extra $1 million, it would work totally fine for you.
The Gulf War has just been one continuous war since Moses. That's true. And
That
the
is
Big
so
Lubbock
true.
is first. Congratulations, Big Lubbock. You are now first.
You were literally the first person on the chat after 8:42 Eastern. Congrats.
There we go. We're going to talk a little conference realignment. I don't know if anybody caught Greg's show from yesterday. By the way, I'm still the real world champion in trivia. You're not getting this belt back, Greg. As far as I'm concerned, AI and typing speed have ruined the trivia game. So I'm not giving the belt back. And you were inaccurate in your question about Georgia Tech. That's an inaccuracy. So I'm not responding to any calls for giving the title back. It's mine. But Greg talked a little bit about it. He had a little nugget of information from.
I did not see the trivia thing, so I did not see the throwing, apparently.
Let's say the person who won 7 points above everybody else. Ryan Brooks won, but I mean, it was clearly AI and typing speed. So I'm just saying, the first time I won, I didn't use AI, people. It was just good old fashioned Midwest football knowledge. But Greg talked a little bit. He received an email. 95% of it, I guess, is stuff we didn't want to know. But the other 5% of it was from the UVA administrative person saying that the governor, when it came to conference realignment, Virginia Tech had to be taken care of. So,
wow,
the Hokie backpack is still strong. Now, I don't know what that means. If that
taken
means
care of could be two things, right?
Right. Virginia Money, potentially. Cavalier Money, Cavamony. That way it rhymes with
Cavacash.
Cavacash. There you go. That could happen. Or it could be a situation where the Big Ten takes Virginia. The SEC takes Virginia Tech. Does that take care of? Is that considered taken care of?
Why would the SEC do that? I mean, look, I think Virginia Tech could fit in the SEC. That's not what I mean. But why would the SEC do that to take care of the Big Ten to get Virginia, who they also theoretically wanted before the governor and administration changed to, all of the board? Why would they do that? Unless SEC just truly actually wanted Virginia Tech.
That's a great question. My response to that would be the Big Ten would have to back off North Carolina. the Big Ten may say, okay, you take North Carolina, we'll get Virginia. You take Virginia Tech, so we get Virginia. We'll take Duke, the private school in North Carolina, and North Carolina State is a Wolfpack backpack. That still has to be decided. But I thought it was interesting that Virginia Tech has to be taken care of.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's I think it comes back to Mohin as these conversations go, the speculation, a little tidbit here or there, everything old is new again.
New again.
At some point.
And it
that
was
doesn't
also
necessarily mean that things were completely wrong. They could have been, but it could be things change. Somebody new gets elected. Right? You delayed decisions for various reasons. Couldn't get the House settlement done faster. Couldn't get Congress, whatever it might be. Recession or improved marketplace, whatever, right? So, should have made the damn backpack 2 years ago, though, for the channel.
the Wolfpack backpack. The other thing that he mentioned is that Virginia, the governor, the legislator of Virginia realized that they were going to have to be somewhat self-sufficient, that they were not getting paid a full share. That was very true of the Big Ten, but maybe a little less true of the SEC. But even the SEC would not be giving Virginia a full share.
That makes sense. I mean, everything has also changed as people are paying their way into conferences either directly or by volunteering to take a lesser share.
Got a big old super chat from our friend Vox Quindaro. Vox, go back and watch Friday's show. I had to vehemently defend the Kansas Jayhawks moving to the Big Ten, but I did it. Jayhawks squawk for you, sir. Let me see here. We kicked some ass. Let's play a little of this. For Jack Hughes, an American treasure that will be forever remembered with boundless pride, absolutely, after the game, talking with his teeth busted out. I'll never get over that, how I just, because, I mean, I've had, like, a cavity in my tooth and been on the floor before, you know. How you can get your teeth just literally cracked and smashed and busted out. But I guess the adrenaline kicks in at some point. But, yeah. Jack Hughes, I didn't have you. I had Austin Matthews scoring the final goal for my parlay. But, hey, I was ecstatic anyway. I jumped up off the couch and twisted my ankle. Go Team USA. Thank you for that super chat, Vox Quindaro. Appreciate it. Glad you could make the show live. But just go back and watch Friday's show for me. I definitely made the case for the Kansas Jayhawks to enter the Big Ten. I want to see it happen. I think it would be very cool. And I think it'd be very cool that you got $350 million sitting around there and that maybe you could do that. Thank you again, Vox Quindaro. Let me do a little, what do we got here? Do we have the reigning cash? Yes, sir. We got the reigning cash. Let me see. I don't have a Jayhawk dancing yet. But we can also let him cook. Let him cook. That is definitely, if anything deserves to let him cook, that should be the one that deserves to let him cook, but I can't find it. I'm having a dumbass attack. There it is. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Thank you again for that super chat, sir. Vox Quindaro follows it up with saying, I saw it, Parge. You've been nominated for Honored Jayhawk honor Jayhawk status, I got to submit an essay. I've got a Jayhawks hat, man. I've got a Jayhawks hat.
Hey, Mo, did you stick around long enough in the post game of the hockey game to see when they were doing the ongoing series of pictures and they brought out Johnny Gaudreau's 2 kids with his jersey?
I did, and I almost lost it because
That was amazing.
Johnny,
that was amazing. If you
yeah,
guys didn't see it, it's online. You could find it on NBC. But Johnny Gaudreau was killed 2 years ago, a year ago, bicycling ahead of his sister's wedding. His widow and their kids were at the game, and they were skating around with his jersey. And then eventually they went, grabbed his 2 young children, brought them to a big team picture with the jersey, and I thought that was pretty damn amazing.
yeah. Both him and his brother Matt died. Johnny Gaudreau, obviously, his ties to Columbus. It hit hard here in Columbus, and yeah. So that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, it might have got a little dusty in here. That's what I like to say. It might have got a little dusty here in Moen's cabin when that happened. So. Jayhawks would be a great addition, though that beating from my alma mater had to be tough. Go Bearcats. Pitt Snipe Husker says I'd take the Jayhawks, kind of miss them. Give me Okie State too. Why not? The wrestling conference. The academics, that's why not. The academics in the market. Rock and Rant, fun fact, the timeliness of my super chats is very much tied to who is on the show at the time. Vox Quindaro were homeboys. Along with you, Rock. We were honorary Jayhawks as soon as we make sure you write that essay good too. Or well. Those 2 children will forever have 25 fathers. Absolutely. More than 25. Like I said, Johnny Gaudreau is a huge deal here in Columbus, Ohio. And yeah. So that was a little tough to watch. But
it was tough, but it was also awesome to watch. Like I totally get it. I mean, you just should, dust your home a little bit more, Mo, and it'll be easier.
Yes. We need to dust more. Yeah, I can't make much more than a personal affiliation argument for the Pokes. I'm gonna make Grok write the essay. Okay, well, do your best, Vox. Just double check Grok and don't.
Yeah, I have Grok get spell checked by ChatGPT or something just to make sure that they can balance each other out with their errors. All of these guys hallucinate left and right.
Yeah, that's a problem with AI, because then you'll ask AI for something and you'll say, that's completely wrong. And they'll go, whoops, you're right. That was completely
and then
wrong.
You're like, don't placate me. I'm not asking you to tell me I'm right. I'm asking for you to get it right. You freaking
Yes.
AI bastard.
Absolutely. And then the other stuff we talked about on conference realignment on Friday night, if you guys didn't catch it, by all means, go back and check it out. It was a great show on Friday night, but we talked about the Big Ten possibly going west before southeast. Tony Petitti may be looking favorably at a 24-team Big Ten conference, may move west to solidify the West Coast pod before heading to the southeast.
Great. That will be awesome. It won't be making people freak out at all on the message boards in the southeast that things are going to get passed over.
It's true, but you've got to realize, looking at things, Utah got a $500 million private equity deal, or they're working on it. I shouldn't say they've got it. It's not set in stone yet, but they're working on a $500 million private equity deal. Kansas received that $350 million gift from David Booth. There was another gift from David Booth that was not highly publicized. I think it's been in total $400 some million, $425 million. So these teams are building up their war chests. They're trying to make themselves as attractive as they can be. I've learned to ask AI for info from specific sources like GM service manuals or TSBs. Good idea. Good idea, because AI just constantly lies to you. And then when you point it out, it's like, oh, you're right, I was wrong. Well, I know you were wrong. But if I didn't know you were wrong, you'd have fucked me. You broke Ute on that show. I didn't break him. I try and take him down to realism levels. I mean, Utah was just in the Mountain West Conference 13 years ago, guys. I think that's what we ended up figuring it out. It was like 13 or 14 years ago. And now they're complaining that they're in the Big 12.
Unfortunately, you and I were going back and forth on something that you guys will see content on the Mafia channel shortly. I wish I had a camera on him when he saw where Utah ranked relative to BYU on the model we were building. I would have liked to see the broken reaction at that particular moment. But I'll now have to go back and rewind to see when you broke Ute. Actually, you should make a chapter, Moen breaks Ute. It will actually go through the algorithm. Search will go up.
You can tell it's like I need to get that Simpsons sounder where it's like Ralph Wiggum's heart breaks. And you say, you can pinpoint the exact moment his heart rips in half. It was a situation like that, because there was one point where I'm like, look, dude, just y'all need to chill out. I mean, Kansas is a great Big Ten candidate. Kansas is such a great Big Ten candidate. They don't tell you about it. They don't tell you about how great of a Big Ten candidate they are. They don't tell you about how much they want to get out of the Big 12. They are, and they do. They just shut the fuck up about it. They shut the fuck up, and what happens, happens.
Ironically, I disagreed with it often at various points because it was frustrating when I saw Florida State fighting the good fight and Miami was being political. But now that time has moved forward, I'm probably glad that Miami has not really spoken too much about things. And then to happen to get good again, which was helpful.
Vox Quindaro, there was an additional $75 million from Mr. Booth and another $75 million from Mr. Dillingham to Kansas. So there you go. There's another $150 million on top of it. It's right up there with Utah with their $500 million war chest. Utah does have a lot of good things going for it, though. The Olympics coming to Salt Lake City again will certainly be helpful. But still, regardless, Utah, just be quiet. I owe is a moon of Jupiter, but I also owe a song to our friend Amazing Blue. The song that'll sterilize people. That's it right there. Gemini flipped 4 times on me over whether Theo Huxtable was alive or not. He is not. He died drowning. He drowned. Yeah, I think he drowned. Hey, I agree with you, Moan, but you saw the fire in his eyes. I did. I watched the light go out in his eyes. You make it sound like I strangled him to death.
It was like the Terminator eyes just shut off.
Yeah, it's like I looked in his eyes as I strangled him. Wild Ute is passionate about his Utes, but the piss on Big 12 nonsense from UU has made all the enemies. Yeah, and it's just completely unnecessary. Just be quiet.
Look, there is a value though. Everyone needs a villain. better to be
Everyone
loved
needs
and,
a
or
villain,
hated versus be vanilla.
there's a point where you can be the villain but not be. I don't know. I don't
What,
know
a
that I want to
lovable
call.
Ted Bundy? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, how Jason Voorhees is a good villain because he doesn't say anything. He just shows up and kills people. Utah would be like Jason Voorhees if he was played by Woody Allen. He would be showing up going, "Oh, I'm going to kill you. Oh, look, I've got a machete and I'm going to kill you." And oh God, why do they
why
call it a
shouldn't I just
machete?
hit you? Why can't I just cut you right now?
Yes. I'll just cut you with a pitchfork. And Sun Yi totally was of age. By the way, fuck Woody Allen.
Original
Utah,
Epstein list.
yeah, Utah thinks they belong in the Big Ten because they lost back-to-back Rose Bowls. That's true. Jackson Smith and Jigba just caught another touchdown from C.J. Stroud in that Rose Bowl game. Tatown Hawk says Ute.exe process has failed. And here's the thing, guys. You have to know this. As soon as Utah gets into the Big Ten, he's going to be intolerable.
Some would say, not me, that's already happened.
That's true. The Big 12.
There are
fans
definitely
already
people. He
Big 12
is the
fans.
villain. He is the villain of the CFB Mafia family.
Moen, thanks for the song. It strengthens my soul. Well, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have played it, Amazing Blue. Because it just sterilized a bunch of people in Ohio. The difference between UU and KU is our cash or gifts. Theirs is most assuredly not. I need the Spaceballs movie quote. I'll tell you what, Tatown Hawk, I'll give it to you. I've played enough Jayhawk squawks tonight. Spaceball, we're doing it for a shitload of money.
We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
Aren't they
There you
doing
go,
a sequel
sir.
finally? Aren't they finally doing a Spaceballs sequel?
They are. It's supposed to come out this summer, I think. But
My favorite line is the combing the desert one with the combs, and then they go to the last crew and they're like, "We ain't found shit."
We ain't found shit.
That's like a lot of people looking for Samantha Guthrie's mom right now on their own investigative channels.
Yeah. I think my favorite line is, "No, sir, I did not see you playing with your dolls."
If you have not watched Spaceballs, you need to go watch Spaceballs.
Oh,
It's
Spaceballs is
required, and you will.
Why
figure out
didn't
about 10 quotes?
Why did nobody tell me my ass was this fat?
There's like 10 quotes from that movie. I think there's a bunch of quotes from that movie and like Spinal Tap that people all know that have no idea what the origin story is, and those are two of the ones I think have the most in common culture.
Spaceballs is definitely worth a watch. My only problem is that Mel Brooks kind of fell off towards the end there. I mean, Robin Hood Men in Tights, I'm going to give a passing grade. It's got its moments, but Dracula Dead and Loving It was kind of a shit show.
Yeah, but the Eminence Front had maybe one or two moments on it for the Who, but it doesn't take away from the Who's earlier work. Great.
Yeah. No. Don't get me wrong. Mel Brooks' early
The brilliance
work,
was so
fantastic.
good. Nobody stays peak forever. They're very rare. I mean, there are a few, but
The
not too
producers,
many.
Blazing Saddles, High Anxiety, Spaceballs. I mean, Young Frankenstein.
History of the World Part 1, man.
History of the World Part 1. Absolutely. We've got a little of that on here. Go for it.
I coalesce the vapor of human experience into a viable and logical comprehension.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
That is Mel as a stand-up philosopher.
Philosophizing.
The exercise, Utah has contributed nothing to the Big 12 except maybe a migraine.
I love watching the hate for Utah because of Ute and their fan base from the other Big 12. Because it's just a popcorn moment for me. It's just entertaining because I have no horse in the race. I just like to see the carnage.
I'm telling you, Big 12 fans, you better hope they don't make it. Because if they make it into the Big 10, he's going to be intolerable. I cannot stand thinking of it being redone. I know, I hate those as well. Mel's movies get a little worse with every film, and I would concur on that. I think the producers and Blazing Saddles are where he peaked.
I'm not so worried about whether it's getting redone. It's more like whether it's done right, because you could be Top Gun Maverick for Spaceballs, right? And it's done pretty damn good, if not in some people's minds better. The odds are not forever in its favor to do better, though.
You didn't capture them. You caught their stunt doubles. Find them. Find them. Spaceballs isn't as good as Blazing Saddles and History of the World Part 1. I agree. Dave's here. They said
That's
you
true,
was,
but it's like the third best. But if you go to Baskin Robbins and you get the fourth or fifth best flavor, it's still pretty good relative to the 31.
They said you was hung, and they was right. Everything at the top of most chronology is terrific, but let's be honest, it falls off the table with about 10 minutes to go. In Blazing Saddles, I don't know about that. I like the big fight scene at the end. I think it's a clever way to get out of it. And that was years
I love
before.
History of the World. I love that movie. I mean, and that's after Blazing Saddles era.
Yeah, History of the World. The peasants are revolting. You're right. They stink on ice.
You know, the Inquisition, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus,
the big
Jesus,
musical.
The future version, part 2, which they should have actually made.
They did.
Which I think of every time when Marjorie Taylor Greene did her Jewish space lasers, all I could think about was Jews in space from History of the World.
They actually made a History of the World Part 2, and it's not worth watching.
Yeah, at the time, I mean, like right away. I never watched.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
the
yeah,
second one because way too many people said it sucked, so I didn't see it.
Young Frankenstein is still the best. Saddles is close. I'm more of a Blazing Saddles guy, but hey, Young Frankenstein is funny too.
Gene Wilder, period, right?
You spare the women? Headley Lamar. Headley. Blazing Saddles would have been so much better with Richard Pryor. Hey, I like the jokes Richard Pryor wrote for it, but come on. The guy who played Black Bart was fantastic.
I mean, you know how good you have to be in something to turn into a meme 50 years after the movie was out? Not even knowing what memes were going to be?
They're waiting for the punchline for part 3. Yeah, definitely. The Lord thy God have given these 15 smash these 10 commandments.
It's so good. Well, they should have just continued of there are 0 commandments because the people who talk about them the most tend to violate them the most.
Cleveland Little. That's the name of the actor. He was perfect. You're absolutely right. It's Twoo. It's Twoo. I just watched Henry from Blazing Saddles before I came here. The kid whose mom covered his mouth during the sheriff's an N-word. He has a YouTube. Really? Okay. That's kind of cool. Maybe put his channel in the chat. I'd like to check that out. Roman Red. I love how this turned into like a Mel Brooks.
I know. You know what you can do, man? It's the
discussion.
off season. You figure out which one of the best Mel Brooks movies is on a service that almost everybody has, and one random night you could just do a watch along with the mafia and the movie in the background.
I still stand by this underrated Mel Brooks picture, The 12 Chairs. Have you ever seen The 12 Chairs?
I have not.
Oh, Frank Langella, Dom DeLuise is in it. It's based off of a book, but it is just fantastically acted.
Dom DeLuise. The movie I always remember from him more is Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, where he's an archbishop in the church, and the government, the communists specifically forbid religion. Well, the church needs to change with the times. I named my new shop kitties Bernadette Skeeters and Jeannie Wildhair. Love Beanie and Jeannie. Yeah.
He's so good. Him
Gene
and Richard
Wilder
Pryor
is-
together were just
Oh God,
bonkers.
Silver Streak, Stir Crazy. There were some bad ones at the end, but
Right.
Silver
That's-
Streak and Stir Crazy were just
are
fantastic.
epically good.
Yeah, we got a Stir Crazy one on here. Let's do this.
That's right, we bad. That's right.
That movie's
What are
so good.
What are you doing? Joe, you gotta get bad, man, because if you don't get bad, you get fucked. Hey, brother, what it is? That is a great movie. I might go watch that movie just for. My trick back. You solved my back problem. If anybody hasn't seen Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, it is a must watch. It turns into, although there is a huge plot hole in the movie at the end, but just if you ignore the plot hole, it's a great movie. It's really fantastic. I think we'll end it with that. Go watch Stir Crazy. If you have not seen Stir Crazy yet, go look it up on YouTube. I'm sure it's on there. It'll be a place where you can rent it for like $2.99. Definitely worth a watch. A great 70s comedy. One of my favorite things is Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor in one of his stand-up acts was talking about Gene Wilder jumping into the prisoners. He said to Richard Pryor, "What do you think they would do if the cops weren't here?" And he said, "They would fuck us, Gene." And Gene says, "Well, Richard, I'm not a homosexual." He says, "Gene, they don't care. They fuck you just to see the look on your face." So definitely watch Stir Crazy, watch Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip. Great stuff. Great show tonight. Love talking with you guys when we get off comment. Well, The Elephant Man was a Mel Brooks movie, but that was because it was part of Brooks' film. It wasn't one that was actually directed by him. So, The other Gygaxes, I don't think I've seen Stir Crazy in 30 years. It holds up. It holds
so
up.
Good still.
Go check it out. Go check it out. It holds up. Richard and Gene, just moi. Fantastic comedy partners. I don't know if Nate is going to feel up to doing a Bombers Blitz on Tuesday, but if so, check out that. Otherwise, the next time we see you will be Wednesday or Friday for the Big Freakin' Friday show. But you've got some videos coming out with youth this week. Why don't you tell us about a couple of these videos, Rock?
Yeah, for sure. If you're not subscribed to the College Football Mafia, make sure you are. I don't know exactly what days they're coming out, but Wild Ute is going to be revealing in 2 different videos. The first thing, a project he and I have been working on together with AI. We basically have captured over the last 5 years every Nielsen rated game that we could find, along with the time, the network, the teams they played, the ranking of the AP poll in that time, and then normalized for it all. So we can see what the brand value is for a team, taking everything aside. So you got a crappy media deal and time slots, Big 12, here's what that team would look like. And we're going to go through the first 2 of those. The Big 12, I think, will be first, hopefully this week. Stay tuned. Make sure you have your notifications on. And then ACC as well. And then we'll use that to do a new video over on CFB Express on a what-if scenario of what if the Big Ten and the SEC didn't expand, what would Florida State, Clemson, and Miami do based off of that data? So definitely check it out. Ute's working on that right now, so maybe those will fill in some of the gaps with Nate not feeling too good. So hopefully those come out. We have so much from that. The model has this whole audience predictor for future games, all sorts of things we're going to be doing with it over the next time. So definitely give you your feedback when those videos debut on the Mafia channel.
Absolutely. And make sure you check out CFB Express as well. Like and subscribe to them. We do a lot of collaborations together here. It's very fun stuff. And check out both of those videos. On this video, make sure you give us a like. Give us a subscribe if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment in the comment section, your favorite Mel Brooks film. We won't make you defend it. Just leave your favorite Mel Brooks film in the comment section.
If there's a scene you love,
if there's a scene you love, let us know. Let us know. That helps us in the algorithm. So for myself, for Rock and Rant, I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. I want to give special shout outs to Earl Carr, the Evil Badger, Ryan Willie, Vox Quindaro with the big super chat. Thank you, Vox. It is appreciated, sir. Amazing Blue and Towtown Hawk as well. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you all for listening to my dissertation on vulture culture and college football, and talking a little conference realignment and talking a little bit about Mel Brooks. So for myself, for Rock and Rant, peace out. We will catch you next Sunday.